News crews are out in the middle of it. They're spread out across the tri-state, covering every angle of this winter blast.
And we're going to start off with one of our biggest potential trouble spots. Reporter Tom McKee in northern Kentucky's Cutting the Hill. Tom?
Well, Clyde, right now I can tell you the latest information is that Boone, Kent, and Campbell counties have a level 2 snow emergency, meaning don't go out unless you absolutely have to. I just talked a few minutes ago with Nancy Wood of the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, and she says that treating places like the Cutting the Hill here with snow and ice, they're having to replow again and again because of the amount of snow that's fallen. Now, the Cutting the Hill has 3 plows dedicated just to it, and so I took a drive up the road a little while ago to check the conditions that you might face if you're behind the wheel. This is the view from behind the wheel heading up I-75 from Covington to Fort Wright Tuesday night. The speed 30 miles an hour, the traffic light. It helped a lot to be right behind a snowplow. At Kyles Lane and Dixie Highway, I found Dennis Tierney hard at work plowing snow from a gas station lot.
It's part of the job. I mean, that's how we make a living in the winter, so.
Coming down the Cutting the Hill was a lot slower, about 20 miles an hour for most people who dared to be outside. Among them was Danielle Randolph of Covington, who topped off her gas tank at 4th and Philadelphia.
Driving it, you do what you got to do to get out, to get back in the house as soon as possible. And
driving snow, poor visibility, and snowplows clearing the roads, many people have had enough.
It's been pretty out of control, you know. It's real warm for a few days, 50, 60 degrees, and then all of a sudden this happens.
Now back here live in Covington, we've got about 2 inches of snow and ice on the ground here at 14th Street. And if you're outside and your car's outside, rather take a look at what you might face in the morning. This stuff is going to have to be scraped off, and it could be a real chore to get that done. Well, these are the conditions right here in northern Kentucky. Let's go up I-75 north to see how conditions there are in Westchester Township with Jay Warren at Union Center Boulevard. Jay?
Well, Tom, we've got that wintry mix that Steve Raleigh was talking about right now. Butler County under a level 1 snow emergency. As yet, Warren County at last check undeclared, no snow emergency listed there. Dozens and dozens of slide-offs and minor accidents. The Ohio Highway Patrol has said that they responded to nearly 24 slide-offs and minor accidents, 2 with minor injuries. Driving information, the salt trucks from the Ohio Department of Transportation were doing their best to keep I-75 clear. Just down the road, it was a virtual ghost town at the intersection of Mulhauser and Union Center Boulevard. We talked to a couple of drivers to get their take on road conditions.
It's slippery. If you start to slide, it will be a problem. But if you just keep going slow and, you know, stay in a track, it isn't too bad.
How fast are they going on the interstate right now?
35, 40.
In the meantime, the Ohio Highway Patrol said they responded to 20 minor accidents between 7 and 10 o'clock and 2 injury accidents, 1 in Butler and 1 in Warren County. Now, the Butler County engineers, they have 15 plow trucks out there. Other agencies I spoke to, they were all salting at the beginning of this storm. And remember, the salt stores actually running very low. In some cases, these agencies are actually trying to conserve salt. Should be interesting the next couple of days to see where their levels are. For more now on this, go to my colleague Amy Wattis, who's in Price Hill. Amy?
We're at the intersection of Henshaw and Hopple in Camp Washington, and it is still coming down freezing rain. It's actually ice crystals are forming on the fur of my hood here. Now, the snow is completely covering Hopple Street, but you know what? It is helping with traction for some drivers, but that's not the case over on Glenway Avenue in Western Hills. Going uphill is another story. The buildup of snow and ice made it difficult for some drivers to get around. Some people were just unlucky, like the drivers of these 2 cars in Mount Airy. Police say a woman was driving south down Coleraine Avenue. She thought she was going to hit a salt truck in front of her, so she veered to the left to avoid hitting it and struck a car heading north. Now, the father of one of the drivers came to the rescue and has this message for us.
It's real slippery. You have to constantly pump the brakes and be very cautious and aware of everyone around you. It's pretty bad out.
And of course, police on scene at that accident recommend everyone stay inside, or you might find yourself in that very same situation. Now we're going to toss it on over to Natasha Williams. She's over on the east side of town to let us know how conditions are over there. Natasha.
Not a lot of traffic along here, 275 northbound near Batavia, and for good reason. The roads are really, really bad. The traffic is really slowed down to a crawl on many of these roads out here because the ice is thick. The snow is thick. Very, very bad out here. Now, quite a difference it was from just a couple of hours ago when traffic was moving along a lot more quickly.
It was covered in ice, and it's still coming down, so yeah, it took a while, definitely.
Now, we can tell you a lot of the businesses and restaurants and gas stations closed their doors early. Even before 9 o'clock, when we were riding around, we could see a lot of them closing their doors, putting the gates down, because they wanted to make sure their workers actually could get home safely and beat some of these problems that they're predicting for tonight. Those workers tell us they're glad they were getting off early because they were worried, wondering if they'd even be able to get home safely. Reporting in Batavia, Natasha Williams, 9 on your side.